Good morning children. Today we are going to see about 7th standard term 2 history unit 3 rise of Marathas and Peshwas. So dear children, last class we discussed about Bhakti movement and the Marathas and the growth of Maratha kingdom with particular role played by Shivaji and consolidation of Maratha power, Shivaji and Aurangzeb, and Maratha administration under Shivaji. And also we discussed Sambhaji Shahu Maharaja. So now we see in this class Peshwas. So the first ruler, Balaji Vishwanath, he ruled from 1713 to 1720. He began his career as a small revenue official and became Peshwa in 1713. Much against the advice from his close circles, Shahu appointed 20-year-old Vishwanath's eldest son Bajirao to occupy the office of Peshwa. So, Bajirao, he ruled from 1720 to 1740. Bajirao decided to launch a major Maratha against the Mughals and the Nizam of Hyderabad. He assumed the power of the commander-in-chief. He was wise in his choice of commanders from these campaigns. Instead of traditional elite group, namely Deshmukhs, he gave commands to the Hegwat, Holhar and Sikantia families who had been loyal to the Emperor Shahu, his father Balaji Vishwanath, and to him. So the prominent Maratha families are Hegwat at Baroda, Bhonsle at Nagpur, Holhar at Indore, Sikantia at Gwalior, Peshwa at Pune. So Bajirao proclaimed wars against Malwa and Gujarat and freed them from Mughal domination. The Mughal army and the troops of the Nizam that intervened on behalf of the Mughals were defeated. Bajirao succeeded his getting his restoration of Shahu as the king of Maharashtra and overlord of the rest of the Deccan, from which the tribute of Chowth and Shateshmukhi would be legally collected by the Maratha officials. Bajirao centralized the fiscal. So fiscal means finance, fiscal functions in Pune. This helped to receive the promote transmission of tribute from the Deccan. The Maratha army, which consists of no more than 5,000 horsemen and no artillery, had by 1720 had doubled in its size. They were no match for the Mughals and the Nizam. The success of Marathas against the Mughals was mainly due to the weakness of the latter. The Maratha dominance in the Deccan is also attributed to their qualities, and Maratha officials and generals who grew up under Shahu and the Peshwas. The next ruler, Balaji Bajirao, he ruled from 1740 to 1761. When Balaji Bajirao was the Peshwa, Emperor Shahu died in 1749. A possible succession struggle among faction of the royal family was averted thanks to the timely intervention of Balaji Bajirao. He summoned all the contending faction and forced them to accept the conditions he laid down. He decided that the capital of the kingdom would henceforward be Pune, not Satara. All power and authority was now concentrated in the Peshwa's office. Balaji Bajirao now commanded an army of paid soldiers. The Maratha peasants' warrior band was reconfigured and its run came to an end. Maratha soldiers were not permitted now to retire from battlefields each year for the purpose of cultivating their land. Soldiers were required to live in forts and towns far away from their home. They were trained as infantrymen as well as horsemen. The large guns were nominally under the command of Maratha officers, but those who fired and maintained them were mostly Portuguese, French, and British. During this period, the Peshwa Balaji Bajirao, the northern frontiers of the Maratha state were rapidly touching Rajasthan, Delhi, and the Punjab. At some point, the Maratha tributary extended itself to within 50 miles of Delhi. The Marathas launched raids from Nagpur against Bihar, Bengal, and Odisha. Notwithstanding the conflict between the Marathas and the Nizam over Karnataka, Tamil, Kannada, and Telugu regions were effectively brought under the control of the Marathas. Between 1745 and 1751, plundering expeditions were launched yearly by the Maratha chieftain Rahuji Bhonsle. So next we see Maratha administration under Peshwas. The revenue administration of Peshwas was headed by a key official called the Kamavistar. He was appointed by the Peshwa. He was empowered to maintain a small body of soldiers to police the administrative area from where tribute or tax had to be collected. A small staff or clerks and servants were employed to maintain the revenue records. These records were randomly checked by the office of the Peshwa. The contract for revenue collection was annually after the revenue for particular place was estimated by the Peshwa's civil servants based on previous year's yields. A prospective tax or revenue collector who won the contract was expected to have a reputation for wealth and property. He was required to pay a portion of the whole of the ante-captured revenue, 1/3 to 1/2, either out of his own wealth or from the money from bankers. Judging from the ledgers of correspondence and account books, it's evident that the Peshwas were keen on accurate record keeping. The Peshwa looked distinctly modern in comparison with the Mughals, to whose fall they contributed military. Next, the fall of Maratha. So the imperial movement of the Marathas sadly entered at Panipat near Delhi in 1761. The Marathas' attempt to extend their domain beyond Punjab was checked by the king of the Afghans, Ahmad Shah Abdali. Abdali invaded 8 times before finally marching on to Delhi. The Marathas were now divided among several commanders who approached the battle with different tactics. Artillery decided the battle in January 1761. The mobile artillery of the Afghans proved lethal against both Maratha cavalry and infantry. The Maratha army was shattered and the surviving men took 6 months to return to Maharashtra from Panipat to report the tragedy. By then, Maratha supremacy over the subcontinent was effectively over. So, once again, we discussed the lesson. So, let's go to recap. So, the factors responsible for the rise of expansion of Maratha rule are discussed. Early life of Shivaji and the influence that worked on him are traced. Shivaji military raids and victory over Bijapur Sultan's army inviting Aurangzeb's intervention are learned. Confrontation of Shivaji with Aurangzeb under their fallout in the Deccan are dealt with. Maratha administration under Shivaji is highlighted. Maratha affairs after the death of Shivaji under Sambhaji and Shahu are discussed. Peshwas emerging de facto rulers and their contributions to the continuance of Maratha power are explained. And modernization of administration under the Peshwas and the end of Maratha supremacy after the Third Battle of Panipat are detailed. Okay, thank you children. We see in next class. Thank you.